How are you all today? Happy Wednesday. My name is Nicole Yvonne, and this is Healing on the Mat. Thank you for being here. If you are new or if you have been coming for a while, I truly appreciate everyone that stops by the page. If you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. And remember that the journey here is to get healing while you are on this mat. I came into this practice at a very unique time in life, and it offered me some perspective that really helped to heal my body, heal my mind, and heal my soul. And that is what I want for you all. So again, if you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. Today we are going to be diving into some very deep stretches that hopefully help to loosen our hips and relax our body along the way. But we are going to get started. You can keep some blocks nearby. I don't think that you will need them, but just in case, I'm going to grab mine, you grab yours, and meet me back here on the mat. I like for everybody to start in tabletop. We're going to open our knees up really wide, and we're going to draw back into a deep child's pose, stretching those arms out wide. Now, this is where you can use your block if you like. You can rest that forehead on the block. However, I'm going to drop all the way down. And we're just going to bring ourselves to our practice. Here is where you find peace. Here is where you find restoration. And these hips can tend to get tight, especially if we sit all day. We don't get enough walking in. We want to stretch these hips. So as you breathe, bring yourself to your practice and just try to relax your hip muscles. Every exhale, you're releasing tension on your shoulders, elongating the spine, allowing that forehead to become grounded in the mat. Grounding brings awareness, it brings connection. It allows you to be in the moment. Keep breathing. You may not know why you're carrying stress or tension, but sometimes we definitely feel it. A lot of times we definitely feel it, and this is where you can simply let it go. Everybody slowly press those palms into the mat and inhale, exhale, push back up to tabletop. Bring those knees together. We're going to walk our hands up just a little bit. We're going to take that left leg, swing it to the front, and cross it over the right. And we're going to draw back again. Again, you're trying to relax those hips. Now, this time you may not be able to drop your head down as far. Again, if you like that block, go for it. Stretch out. Breathe. You're going to feel this probably. Yes, you're going to feel a nice deep stretch on the right. You're going to feel a little more intensity likely on the left. But it could just depend on where your hips are tightest. Inhale. As you exhale, you want to try to let that chin drop down to your knee. Forehead all the way down. You can get it into the mat, great. If not, that's okay. Try to hollow out the belly. And as you do these stretches today, I just want you to try very hard to lighten your load. Remember that you are a holy presence. You are full of light. And the more bound we feel, the less our light shines. We want our light shining bright unto the world. So if there's any tension in that belly, try to release it. Deep into the groin, try to release it. One more breath. Flat palms all the way back up. Bring those hands in. Swing that left back and around. Balance out. And now we're going to do the same thing with the right. Bring that right leg to the top and cross it over to the left. If you need to make adjustments, that's fine. And draw back once again. It may feel a little different from one side to the other. That's normal, especially if our hips are not fully aligned. That is what we're trying to do here. Get our hips to fully align. So wherever you feel the most tension, try to balance that weight out and draw back. So like I feel tension more on the left. I don't want to lean into the left yet. I want to try to balance that weight all to the center and draw back. Sometimes when we feel the tension on one side compared to the other, we overcompensate and we don't find balance. And what we're trying to do here is balance our body out. Keep breathing, keep relaxing, keep letting that light shine. I posted a book review today about the Celestine Prophecy. And that book has a lot to do with energy. And in this practice, we learn that there is energy coursing through our body. And yoga is a way for you to balance energy, for you to hone it, and for you to control it. A lot of times we allow things to take us out of our element, out of our comfort zone, or many people say keep breathing. We didn't mean to snap. And when we just learn to slow down like this, and when we learn to release the tension in our body, it helps us not to lose control. It helps us to remain in our fullest, truest character. And if that's not what we want it to be, this practice helps us to retrain. Chin into the knees, drop that neck down. And exhale, rise back up. Very good. Bring those hands in, uncross the right, and swing it back out. Now I want you to shake those hips out from left to right. You're going to take that left leg and draw it back. You're going to take that right knee and slide it up. And we're just going to slide that left leg all the way back as deep as we can. Now you may feel a little pull into your belly or your hip flexors. And again, you may have that tendency to want to lean to the right or to the left. We are trying very hard to stay balanced. Keep that chest open. And we don't want to push the right knee out to the side, at least not yet. We want to keep everything aligned and grounded in the center. Breathe. If you would like to grab your blocks here, you can do so. They will help. You can turn them flat or you can turn them tall. And you can place your hands on the blocks instead of on the ground. That'll give you a little added height to hold that chest up higher. Open the throat chakra, lift the chin up to the sky, and breathe. Feel the belly on the inhale. Exhale. Simply stay engaged. Try to release the hip flexors. Keep breathing. And as that energy is coursing through you, there are places, remember, that we find our safety and that we can connect to better energy. This is why I prefer teaching in person as opposed to virtual. Because I can feel everybody's energy. They can feel mine. We're fueling one another. And rise back up. Bring that right knee in. Balance out again. You can move those blocks for just a second or use them if you like. We're going to slide that right leg to the back. Slide the left knee to the front. And we're going to try to balance. Same thing, opposite legs. Bring those blocks back in. Chest up. And remember to breathe. Inhale. Exhale through the nose as I talk to you. Yes, in a in-person class, I can just feel the energy. But I pray before every class. I ask that God's energy fill this room so that I am light to you and that the practices that I hone in on and that I teach you are felt even through this screen. And this is how technology helps us. And so I know on the other side of that screen is good energy. And if it's broken energy, we are working to heal it so that it is good energy. And it is here that we come back to life and we understand that we take a pause from the regular everyday life in order to rehone our energy, to restore it, to refill it, to revitalize it. And in the book, we learn that like in the rainforest and in nature and in the purest forms of God's creativity in nature, we find good energy. But sometimes we come back to the city or we come back to everyday life and the hustle and the bustle and the cars and the electricity and all these other signals and all this other sensory that takes control and makes us lose sight of the good energy. And bring it back in. This is why we have practices like yoga to help us along the way. Hold on to all that good positive energy. Very good. Now I want you to turn to the front of the room. And you're going to swing that left leg out. And we're going to swing that right leg out. So both knees are externally rotated. And it's kind of hard for me as well. But you want to try to sit up in that space. So we don't want to lean out to the side. We don't want to lean out to the front. In this case, our left leg is facing the front. Our right leg is kind of toward the back. And we want to try to shift our weight to the right, balancing all of our upper body into the center, grounding our hips, grounding our lower body into the mat. And as I've told you all before, breathe that upright. If you still need the blocks, you can have them right here. Try to push that upper body up, but I'm going to just chill out here and hold it for myself. This is gravitropism and phototropism. Anything that's touching the ground, it's pulling us down, it's anchoring. And as we go through gravitropism, it's like the roots of a plant. They go through some tough things. They're in that dirt. They're trying to dig their way through. Sometimes they run into roadblocks. Sometimes there's hiccups along the way. Sometimes the soil gets overwatered and it has to dry out. There's so many things in the gravitropism. But that plant, those leaves, this upper body is thriving. It is rising up toward the sun. It is blooming at its highest level. It is thriving. Nobody has to know what's going on through that gravitropism or even what it's been through in order to see all the good positivity that the gravitropism has caused. The phototropism is photo ready. It's not picture perfect, but it's photo ready. And nobody else has to know all the hard stuff that you went through in order to get there, unless you allow them to. There's a reason and a space to speak. And then other times nobody has to know but us. Breathe. But it reminds us that nobody gets through this life without having difficulties and hardships. And our lessons help to prepare us for what is happening. It also reminds us, a few more breaths, keep breathing. I'll save that for the other side. And switch. Bring that right leg to the front. Left leg still is turning outward to the front. We're externally rotating, but that left leg swings to the back. And now we're going to try to shift all that weight to the center, back toward the left. Again, it's not as easy as it looks. That's okay. That's why we practice. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And sometimes there's stress and tension in our muscles and our joints and our sockets with age that we just have to counteract. And by practicing, we do that. But everybody has their own set of lessons, their own problems, and those lessons help us to grow. They help us to thrive. They help us to become better people when we learn the lesson, but you have to do the work. And so I am so thankful that you are here practicing because you are doing the work. Keep breathing. Our bodies are meant to operate and function just like plants. It's very similar. If you have not read The Garden Within by Dr. Phillips, I think that's her name. I can't remember her name, but The Garden Within, it teaches us a lot about how our bodies relate to plant lives and how our bodies remind us of the Garden of Eden and how much of a temple our bodies are. But I think it's Anita Phillips, Dr. Anita Phillips. I'm pretty sure that's her name. Keep breathing. And throughout life, we need these little reminders because so many things will try to throw us off course and get us in a place where we're not growing. You know, I hate to talk about Satan, just gives him too much credit. But there is an enemy that is out there that is trying to prevent us from being our fullest selves. And sometimes that can happen through the mind. Sometimes that can happen through little small distractions. Sometimes that can happen through social media, just pulling us away, our time, our management. Keep breathing. This side is not so easy for me. I'm very transparent about those things. But we breathe in all the good life that we can. Elongate that spine still. Sit upright as much as you can. Create space in the hips. One more breath. Very good. Bring it all back to the front. And we're going to butterfly those knees out. And again, draw those heels in as much as you possibly can. Try to sit up as tall as you possibly can. We're going to give ourselves a little break. This is still challenging, but we're going to give ourselves just a little break before we move on to our key pose. Keep breathing. Remember, you want to try to sit up as tall as you can. So grab a tropism, try to pull those knees down into the ground. Try to relax and settle those glutes into the mat. Try to shift that spine into balance and up tall. Breathe. You can close your eyes if you need to. You want to relax and just find harmony and balance in your body. Breathe. And so also remember that with the gravitropism, that is like our lower chakras, as we talked about, the sacral, the solar plexus, the root. All three of those, I didn't say them in the right order, are a part of your gravitropism. Everything else is a part of your phototropism, your heart chakra, your throat, your crown, your third eye. All of those are fueling you in order to be able to grow into that higher power being that you are designed to be. That higher power soul that is fueled by all the things from up above, not the things from below. And that is how the chakra system works. And remember, it's that infinity. Remember? We talked about this. Keep breathing. So many things fuel our light. Remember being honest with ourselves. I have it on my shoulder, John. I think it's 8:32. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And that scripture is very important to me because when we know the truth, we can operate in it. And that means we're honest with ourselves, about the work that we need to do, about the growth and development that we need to have take place. But God will give you wisdom in order to know the truth about others and discernment about others so that you can operate as your fullest self, even when there are people around that don't have your fullest interest at heart. Keep breathing. It sets you free. A few more breaths. All right, now we're going to turn back out into that tabletop. And I want you to bring that right leg, swing it out to the front, and you're going to externally rotate that right knee out. We're going to come back to pigeon. Now, you can take these blocks and you can sit on them in order to stack that body very tall and sit upright. Okay, and this feels really good. It actually gives you some support. It takes some of the pressure off. It kind of works as a foam roller or apply some pressure to your thighs so that you have some relief in the area that you're trying to stretch out. However, you can also drop down and hold that chest up. And this one's a little more difficult. It's going to challenge you a little more. It's going to require a lot more strength. But it's going to make a big adjustment when you succeed. Keep breathing. And release. The main issue with pigeon is that our hips are not balanced. So if you see when I drop down, I'm leaning more toward the right. If we have balance in our body, we want to be in that upright position. And sometimes that's challenging in pigeon. Trust me, this is in a very emotional release. So if you are able to find relief in this area, again, you may cry. You may have some tension that just bubbles up and wells up in you. And it's a huge emotional release. But it takes time. And I've seen some people, even the greatest of yogis, it took 3 years in order to master this position. But I'm kind of leaned out toward the right, and we want to try to find that balance, which is why we stack the blocks or hold. Everybody get ready to switch to the other side. You can bring that left leg to the front. Externally rotate. Swing that right leg to the back. Up and slide it out. Now again, you can stack the blocks or you can use them as support to hold that body up. And breathe. Look up. Remember, that's where your help comes from, and that's where we're growing upward to. And relax. Very good, everybody. Turn back out to the front of the room. We're going to extend those legs all the way out into straddle. Open up as wide as you can. You've worked on those hips a little. Now, another thing that will make this easier, you can sit on top of these blocks. So if you bring the blocks close together, you can put one cheek on one block and the other cheek on another block and extend out, and that's going to help alleviate some of that pressure as you get ready to fold forward. kind of gives you a better hinge position. And fold out. But I am going to sit all the way down. Now you want to try to spread those legs as far as you possibly can and bring those hands out. And you're just going to rock a little gently forward because you still might have tension in the groin or the back of your thighs. We want to loosen that up just a little. So just gently sway back and forth again. The lower body is staying pulled into the ground. The upper body, that spine is rising longer. The stomach is coming into the spine, creating space. The chest is rising up and we fold out. Rock back and forth just a little bit and then try to hold it. Tuck the chin. Keep the length in the spine all the way out. Back to the book, we learn how to allow no one to take that energy. And in allowing no one to take that energy, we become light. We become easier. We become more fueled by the spiritual things and not by the worldly things. And it's not a direct indicator. It's a nonfiction book, but we learn in the book that this is probably why Jesus was able to walk on water. This is why Jesus was able to ascend and why we have so much protection around us when we believe and when we operate in the goodness of what God intended us to be. It's almost like a shield of protection, an energy that protects us so divinely that we are lighter. We are fueled lighter. We don't have this heaviness weighing us down. Keep breathing. See if you can go just a little further. And that's what we want in our practice. All this heaviness that's preventing us from moving forward in our practice. You can see as we practice, I'm going to get pretty close to the ground. Not all the way today, maybe, but we just become lighter. See if you can go just a little deeper. Very good. All the way back up. Roll those shoulders to the back. Stay in this position. And to the front. Deep shoulder rotations simultaneously to the back. Simultaneously to the front. Bring that left hand to the center. Bring that right hand straight up and tilt out to the left. Remember that upper body is still growing. We're not collapsing to the front. We're just simply rotating. Hand back up. Bring that right hand to the center. Left hand extend straight up. Rotate out to the right. Twisting that upper body. And bring it back. Bring those feet back into that butterfly position one more time. Draw those heels in. And this time, I literally want you to flap that butterfly. Bring those knees up and down. You can hold on to the feet. You're still trying to keep that spine long, chest rising up, chin high. Remember, smile at yourself. It makes it so much easier as you practice. Let your light shine through a smile. Even I've been told that I can have resting you-know-what face. And I try not to very hard now. So I'm always trying to make sure that I keep a smile on my face. Because one of the things that we talk about in energy, like when my son is around and I have the hustle and bustle of the day, sometimes I can lose sight of making sure that I am light because I'm so focused on getting the task done. Well, even in those moments, we are still to be light. We are still to be in the presence of God and to be very present in the current moment. And so, even in getting to-do list checked off, keep butterflying those legs, keep flying, fly, little butterfly. We want to make sure that we're focused and we're grounded. And this practice helps so much with that. All right, bring those knees up and hug. Remember, we always end with a hug. Draw those knees into the chest. Stretch that spine out, round it out like a cat. Hug tight, hug tight, hug tight. Woo. Very good job. Until next time, I hope that you all keep inhaling all the good life that God is breathing into you. You keep exhaling what no longer serves you. Exhale death because negativity and toxins built up in our body leads to death, and we don't want that. We want to live our longest, fullest lives. Again, if you are new or if you are true, thank you so much for being here. My prayers are to every single person that tunes in that you have good abundance, good life, good energy to fuel you along the way. And if you like what you see here, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. And until next time, your girl loves you, and I will see you on the flip side. Have a wonderful day.